Love to hear your story. How'd it go? And maybe we can do that tomorrow morning sometime, because we're on from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., which is why sometimes Randy will sit there at the control board and just look at social media. It's like, Randy, producer, Randy, just, looking at social media far too often. I know you had the one with the school teacher and the kids in the class in 9th grade, and this one girl asking Helen Keller, she thought Helen Keller was Hitler or something.
Yeah, she mixed up, it was Helen Keller and Hitler.
Yeah, well, there's always someone. The good news is, the fortunate thing, Randy, is that there was another student, a couple of students laughing and said that, no, you're not paying attention. What else has diverted your brain on social media?
There are so many things, but this next one, since we have a little time for it, is
the rapper?
Yeah, there's this rapper who my buddy Goody sent me this.
Well, I don't think he's actually a professional rapper. He looks like just this guy, like maybe Eminem or something like that, who put together a rap tune about working versus getting unemployment. Yeah, the song kind of speaks for itself, but just to give a little background, apparently the guy, from what I get from the song, is he's a mechanic, changing brakes all day, at a shop, and probably working like 60 hours a week. And then he gets home and, Friday night after working all week, and compares his check to his buddy's checks, and his buddies aren't working now because of COVID. And they're collecting unemployment. And his friends are making as much or more than him, and they're just sitting home watching Netflix and ordering stuff on Amazon and getting Uber Eats and stuff delivered to the house. And it's not that far from reality. I genuinely believe he's rapping from the heart, because I personally have, I know people where they made more money in COVID than they did when the company was allowed to open back up. We talked about that last year. In fact, I talked to a guy who represents, he didn't want it, the guy who owns the fast food stores, restaurants, he didn't want to be on the air, but he said he was having a hard time getting people back to work, because even if he was paying them, $15, $20, $25 an hour, whatever, they're still making more money because of the stimulus, the unemployment plus the $600 and all of that. So he couldn't even get him come back to work, and that was happening around the country. Go ahead. Do you know this guy's name, this mechanic? They call him the real Samson. And real Samson. There's a very minor visual element. It'll definitely work over the radio. But I posted on my Facebook page. But you can see that he clearly is not lip syncing. So it's not like he went in a studio, read one line, messed up a verse, line, and then went back and punched it in or whatever. And he's out in the field doing this, like a farm or something like that. All right, roll it, Randy. I had to bleep it 22 times. Well, if you don't have to bleep the thing for radio, it's not a real rap song. All right, go ahead. Hit it. All right, here we go. Super.
Where the my money? I've been working all day, getting dirty as a bitch, busting my tail. Coming home, covered in oil, covered in grease, having trouble trying to scrub the brake dust from my fingernails. No help at the shop, only me, cause we're understaffed, cause nobody wants to get a job now. Friends hit me up after work, but I don't want to do the whole damn day I was bogged down. At the end of the week, I get my check, I hold it up next to my friends, they get annoyed, and he laughs cause I didn't make half of what he made. I worked every single day and his ass is unemployed. You say there's no jobs, you say there's no one hiring. Every time I open up my phone and go online, I see a lot of positions, but you just listen to the politicians telling you there's not. See, you don't even take the time to read. Don't lie to me, it's a fact. All these stupid politicians want to act like it's slim picking, and it's hard to get when it's so bad. But how come every business that I visit's always understaffed? May not be the job you want, may not be your dream career. You could do something in the meantime while you wait for things to clear. Hobby Lobby starting out at 17, buddy. You could get a job there instead of collecting free money. I'm just saying, if you're my age and able, you don't need the government's aid to stay stable. Leave it for people who really need it, you piece of go and get a job to get paid and be grateful. You're not incapable, you're lazy as but at the same time, I don't really blame you. If they were handing it out and I had absolutely no pride, I would take it too. I mean, it. I'm the real dumbass. I'm the one working hard. I'm still busting my ass. People I haven't seen in a minute come up to me and ask me if I'm still working. I say, yeah. And they're like, Dad, didn't you hear? They're giving this for free now. And I'm like, how? And they're like, what do you mean how? You don't have to have a reason to get it. They barely notice. You just go online and apply and tell them you're scared of COVID. And just like that, you don't got a real job, but you still get paid. God, I feel robbed. I can't say that I never thought of doing it. I don't want to contribute to all this and it's just the government in creating this dependency. If you don't know what I'm saying, then just wait till the end and see. When everybody's free money gets cut off, you think they're gonna go straight to work again? Off. let me clear the air. I know a lot of people really felt the wrath of this. I'm not talking to you and I'm not knocking you, dude. I know some folks were in bad shape after this. Like, you got kids and a wife and you had a good job and the dividends were nice and you lost it all of a sudden over this bullshit. You needed something just to keep you winning in this fight. I understand. We're all in the end, though, so we might as well come together. No matter who you are and no matter who you voted for, I really do believe we need something better. Is it me? Or is it crazy as that at a time like this with a horrible disease, they would make us wait for those tiny little checks just so they could give money to other foreign countries? Send the money to Pakistan.
Why?
For gender studies, we have to, man. I know you're worried it's really scary, but send $1 billion to the Egyptian military and send another to the Smithsonian. Yeah, I know this ain't even open, but it again. Shut up and spend. What about the fallen trees? 2 billion. We need to study them. Ever wonder how many amberjack fish are currently swimming in the Gulf of Mexico? Well, I want to know that right now. 2.5 million, motherfucker. Now let it go. You run a business? Shut it the down. And if you don't, we're gonna find you till you do. It's way too dangerous. And if you don't understand, then maybe you going broke will finally get it through. And last but not least, for our hard-working, tax-paying Americans who stuck it out through this pandemic and put their lives on the line so we could keep our economy rolling, those little people we like to call essential, I give to you 600 big ones. Don't go spending it all in one place now.
Wow. And the haughty rich boy laugh. Man, yeah, he's like, how many hits on YouTube now?
I got it from Facebook, so I'm not sure where the counter is on there. Probably,
yeah, it's got to be 1 million. I can't see that not having 1 million right now.
He's so good. I mean, I know rap. I mean, I'm by no means an expert, but I buy Eminem CDs because they were so good. And the guy reminds me of Eminem, but better. I mean,
better, yeah.
And the rap
I mean, I think everybody's got, if you want to rap, just about everyone's got one song in them. You know, maybe a short song, 90 seconds, something like that. This guy has a lot of pent-up anger. By the way, I had no idea Hobby Lobby's paying $17 an hour. Okay, I learned something from this guy. And I'm actually quite amazed that he knows all this stuff we were talking about in the omnibus bill, you know, the money for gender studies in Pakistan, the monies to Egypt, and also for amberjack studies, things like that. And that's why people thought, oh, the COVID money, it's going out. No. It was the omnibus bill. Division M and Division N are all about COVID. And these things, all this other spending is in different divisions, different sections of the omnibus bill. But that's the point I was making. You can go online now, you can download it and look at the whole bill and see all this spending. And that's why people are angry, saying, well, wait a second. Why are you giving all this money, this largesse to foreign countries for stuff they really don't need the money for? I mean, do we really need to, $2.5 million for amberjack studies? No, you really don't. Fallen trees, what happens to them? Let's study that for a couple $1 million. I was actually quite impressed that he had all that knowledge, because I don't think most people do.
He's not rapping out weed and banging hoes. He's rapping about the fact that he's working and watching the government just spend money. He's probably like the libertarian rapper. I don't know what his politics are.
Well, it's like people say, you mug a liberal and you're going to have a conservative.
Yes.
So won't say, and here, you're gonna turn somebody who might have been a liberal into a libertarian when they see, how this is actually negatively affecting the country in so many ways. So, I'm glad you saw that on social media. See, producer Randy spends too much time on social media, and every once in a while I ask him, why don't you bring something to the table? We got to get going in a minute. You got a minute.
A minute?
A minute.
All right, let me also play your outro. I'm dead rolling your outro music. I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit here, so yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, right, Randy will now dead roll Swingtown by Steve Miller, which I've always liked that for some reason.
Okay, the other one's too long, so this is a real short one. Let me turn it.
You may not have time. It takes you too long to set it up.
No. Stop it. All right. This is all right. This guy, this black guy, he is walking into an office foyer. He walks up to the door, pulls on it, and it's locked. And that's about all you need to know to hear this part of it. Here we go.
Sorry, sir, I didn't see your white privilege card.
Yeah, I got white privilege. And you can get your white privilege from officialjoelpatrick.com. Use code BlackRedneck. Checkout.
Use code.
So it's a conservative black guy. He says, I've got my white privilege card and I can get into the building now. Oh, man, all right. Let's get to the real news. There's a lot that's been going on since 10 o'clock this morning. 4.5 hours. Delaware's afternoon news with Chris Carl. Keep it here.